Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and a look at a puzzle today. I love this pseudonym, SUDOKU Noob, and it is indeed a debut on the channel, I believe. But I was just wondering, SUDOKU Noob, if you call yourself that and then you develop your Sudoku setting skills and become experienced, are you still SUDOKU Noob by name, if not by nature at that point? Anyway, I thought it was very modest and I fully approve of that, but looking forward to trying the puzzle. There's some interesting use of cages going on. We'll look at that in a moment. Don't forget, on Patreon at the moment, we've got our Hollywood Lunchbox, a pretty tough collection of sandwich Sudoku puzzles. And we hope you'll enjoy them. There's some good logic to be found to work through them. Give them a try. Join us on Patreon. There'll be my crossword video this week. There'll be connections videos, longer Sudoku solves occasionally, the solution videos to the monthly rewards, all sorts going on Patreon every month. And please join us. And please consider our apps. We have Killer Sudoku as one of our apps, of course, and even Domino Sudoku, which features a number of X's, and Sandwich Sudoku. These are sandwiches, I think, 6 and the 26 clue. Yes, they are. So lots of relevant and indeed irrelevant apps. Some brilliant Sudoku in those. Give them a try. Now, what else have we got? Our merchandise and spend SUDOKU PAD, all on the links under the video. Yes, I was also going to say thank you very much yesterday, anybody who commented on the video, for reassuring me that I wasn't just being terrible. Vaults was a very difficult rule set. That has cages, but it does odd things with cages, and it does odd things with your head. And the comments were very sympathetic, and I am sincerely grateful for that. I thought I might be doing very badly with the puzzle, but everybody says it's not easy. Almost everybody. 1 or 2 people found vaults a perfectly reasonable rule set, and well done to them. But for me, it was very tough, and I struggled, which is fine. Sometimes the joy of the solve is in the struggle, and we welcome it. So anyway, today, who knows? You can check the video length, see how I found it, but I'm going to try this puzzle. It's called 13. For reasons we have to discover, I guess. And the rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Diagonal Sudoku. So, yes, digits cannot repeat on either of the marked diagonals. There is one of them. That's the set of the digits 1 to 9. Each group of cells, there are a number of cages in this puzzle, and digits can't repeat in cages. If there is a clue in the top left of the cage, then we know it's sum. So the sum of that cage is 17. If there isn't a clue, we don't necessarily know it's sum. An X between 2 cells means they sum to 10. And the sandwich clues outside the grid tell you the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that column or in that row. So the digits sandwiched between the 1 and the 9 in this row add up to 26. Give it a try on the first link under the video. No idea how to go about it, but we'll see. Let's get cracking. So the 17 cages can both be filled in as 9-8 pairs. Actually, the 4 cages are both 1-3 pairs. And if you're new to Killer Sudoku, it won't take you long to work out why they must be the case. Now, that's going to leave 9 in one of these 2 positions, and I'm using corner marks, as we do, to represent the possible locations within a box where a digit can be. Once we're down to just candidates for a particular cell, they go in the middle of the cell. So the 8s in the corners mean that 8 must be in one of those cells. 1 and 3 are over here somewhere. Now, what about these cages? This one is definitely 9 cells. So is this one. Now, a 9-cell cage has a sum of 45. And I know that because of the secret, which we occasionally share with you, that the digits 1 to 9 add up to 45, which therefore is the sum of every row, every column, every 3x3 box. By the rules, they have to contain the digits 1 to 9. Every long diagonal in this puzzle and every 9 cell cage in any puzzle. So, oh, there's another 4 cage. But the 9 cell cages are maybe going to seduce you into thinking that this cage is 9 cells big as well, and it's not, it's 8. This one is 6. So if you looked at this puzzle and thought, well, the constructor might as well have written the 45 total into the bigger cages, don't be so sure. This cage is 8 cells big. Okay, enough said about that. Right, I doubt that this can be a 9. Actually, more importantly, I know this can't be a 1. So the 26 sum in this row is going to be made up of the digits between the 1 and the 9. So 8 is the maximum. It can include 8, 7, 6, 5. Even if it included, well, if it included those 4 digits, that is the only way it could be 4 digits only, adding up to 26. 8, 7, 6, 5. But if this was a 1, you couldn't get 4 digits either side of it in the sandwich. So that's a 3 and is in the sandwich. Let's mark it green. It's in the sandwich. Now, we said if it was a 4-digit sandwich, which would happen if this was a 9, the 4 digits would be there, and that would be a 1. But the digits would have to be 8, 7, 6, 5. So that doesn't happen. So that's an 8, and that's a 9, and the 8 is also in this sandwich. And now it's at least 5 cells of sandwich because there's a 3 in it. It's not 8, 7, 6, 5. So I think we get to mark this as in the sandwich as well. Now, can the whole 11 cage be in the sandwich? 11 plus 11 is 22. That would be a 4. Yes, that's possible. One of these is a 1 or a 9, and one of these. Now, neither of those can be a 1 in the 11 cage, and that can't be a 9 by Sudoku, but I don't know where I'm going with that thought. Okay, we've got 8, 9, 1, and 3 in 2 boxes. All of the other cells in those boxes are 2, 4, 5, 6, or 7. On this X, we can't have a 5, so we've got 2, 4, 6, or 7. We can't have a 2 because 8 there would clash with that. So we've got a 4, 6, or 7, making this 3, 4, or 6. Now, maybe I should think about the 34 cage. That's quite a big number for a 6-cell cage. I'm just wondering if it has to have a 9 in it. If it was 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, that would only add up to 33. So yes, it does have to have a 9 in it, given that the digits are all different. The 9 has to be in one of these 3 cells. Now, oh, well, it can't be in one of those 2 by that 9. It can't be there because of that 8, 9, and it can't be there because of that 8, 9. So this is the 9 in the 34 cage. Okay, that's good. Now, does it need an 8 in it? I don't think it does, because 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 adds up to 34, exactly. So that is a possibility. Otherwise, if it had to have an 8 in it, the 8 would go there, and that would give us a bit of a step forward in the puzzle. Oh, I'm just seeing 9 in row 5 is in one of those 2 cells, not here because that can't be a 1 because of the 1, 3 pair. One of these is an 8. That's not very helpful. How about this set? This is a 9-cell cage, so this needs a 9. Ah, that's interesting. This needs a 9 in it as well, which can't be in any of those cells from the 9 markings we've done, and also can't be on the diagonal, because we've had a 9 on that diagonal. So 9 is in one of those 2. The 9 down here is in one of those 2, one of which is on the diagonal, one of which is in the 11 cage. Now, where is 9 on this diagonal? It's worth thinking about for a moment. It can't be in box 5 where there's already a 9. It can't be there by Sudoku. It can't be here because we now know that there's a, oh sorry, I pencil marked those as 8 when they should have been 9. Because we know the 9 in this box is in one of those two. So it could be there, there, or there, I think. Not sure. Right, maybe think more about this. We need an 8 in this, on this, in this cage as well. Now, 8 almost has to be on the diagonal. Where else could 8 go on the diagonal? Not here or here, not here or here by Sudoku. It could go there. Otherwise, it's in the cage here. I don't know the answer. I'm just noticing we've got a 1-3 pair there. Is that any use? Okay, I'm going to have a little thought about where 1 and 3 go in the cage. No, it didn't really develop into anything. Oh, these are from 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because we've had 1, 3, 8, 9 in the column. Oh, the 26 sandwich sum, the 6 sandwich sum. I haven't thought about that, and now we know there's a 9 in one of these positions. Right, the sandwich can't run below that 9, because the only way for it to do that would be 9, 6, 1, and that would clash with this one. So the sandwich, the 6 sandwich, runs above it. The furthest away I think the 1 could be is here. So I'm going to put 1 in one of those 3 cells. The 6 sandwich is either made up of a single 6 or a 2 and a 4. And if it's a 2 and a 4, they could be there or there. If it's a single 6, it could be there or there. Could that be the single 6? No. But the 1 can still be, okay, the 1 can still be there. There is a 1 in one of these 3 positions. Is that any use to us? I'll tell you what that's doing. That's ruling 1 out of this cell. And 1 can't be in this cell because of the cage, and it can't be here because of the 1 we've got. It can't be here or here because of where 1 is in this box, and it can't be there because of the X. So the 1 on this diagonal is in one of those 3 cells, where it overlaps with the 1 that must be in this cage, and it must go in there. That's very clever. Right, 3 and a 1 there. Now, there's a 3 somewhere up here. There is a 3 in this cage as well, and quite a lot of its cells are ruled out, but not enough to place it. 3 must also be on that diagonal. That's not it either. Oh, there's a 1 in one of these 3 cells. There's also a 1 in this cage, which has to be in one of those 3. I should take the corner marked 1 out of there. This X can't have a 1 or a 3 on it or an 8, and now that is a 4-6 pair for sure. Can't be 1, 9, 3, 7 or 2, 8. Now, for this to be a crust in this sandwich is impossible because it sees a 1 and a 9. So I'm going to colour that green, which I was trying to say must be in the sandwich. Now, I don't know that this is in the sandwich because this could be the crust and the sandwich could run there and this be the other crust. Or this is the crust and the sandwich is 5, not 6 cells. I know it's not 6 cells because, well, okay, well, here's another way of knowing that more simply. This digit can't be a 9 because 9 is confined in this box, and it can't be a 1 because it's on the same diagonal. So that is green as well. And now we've either got a crust here or here, and here or here. So the outies in this row, the cells outside the crust and the sandwich, add up to 45 minus 26 minus 1 and 9 is 9. So it's either those two cells or those two cells that add up to 9. That 9 sum is not 8, 1 or 3, 6. It's either 2, 7 or 4, 5 in one of those positions. And I don't really know I don't know how to pencil mark that because it would be a bit confusing. Okay, let's go back to this 34 cage. The only large cage in which we're given a total. We said either there's an 8 there or this is 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. In that case, there would be a 1 and a 2 to place in this row. And they would have to be here and here. 2 there and 1 there. Wow, 1 there would only leave that position for 1 on the positive diagonal, which is quite interesting. By Sudoku, in fact, this is actually 2, 5 or 7 at this point. This X, I don't know, it can't be a 4, 6 pair because we've already had 4 and 6 in box 4. Not sure if I know more about it. Oh, there has to be an 8 in this cage as well as a 9 in the box. No, that's not very helpful. Okay, we were thinking about the 34 cage. If it was not with an 8 there, of course, these two are the same by the law of leftovers. Okay, let me explain that. This is the most basic form of set theory. That is a set of the digits 1 to 9, including those 8 digits. And so is this. Therefore, these 2 digits are the remaining digit when you take out those 8 ones. So these two are the same. So this doesn't have an 8 in because you can't put an 8 there. Right, bingo. So this is a 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And what we just learnt about that a moment ago was that the 1, 2 in this row are now here and here. We've got 1 in this cage, so neither of those is a 1. That's now a 1. It's off the diagonal. And in fact, these 3 cells rule it out of those 3. So on the diagonal, it has to be there, which is lovely. Now, what else do we know? Do we know about 3 on the positive diagonal? No, I don't think we do. It could be up there. Maybe this cage needs an 8 in. I can now mark an 8 in one of those cells. I probably could have done that before. 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7. That one, orange, is not 4 or 6 in this box. So that is 3, 5 or 7. That's not a 1. 1 is specifically in that cell, in fact. Now, that's the crust of this sandwich down here. So that cell is in the sandwich and is either 2, 4 or 6. Can I determine 9 on this diagonal? Not yet. I don't think so. Okay, this cage has 8 different digits in it. We don't know the total, but I don't know. I wanted to say it doesn't have orange in it, but I don't know anything about that. If it had a 9 in it, the 9 would have to be here. This hasn't been resolved. One of these is 8. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I think about this sandwich. So, yes, how is this working? This digit now. This sees 1, 3, 2, 4, 6 in the column, 8 in the row, and 9 on the diagonal. This is 5 or 7. If that is part of the outies, which add up to 9, that is 2 or 4. And then this is a 9. That's impossible. Right, we've got a 1 and 9 looking at that cell. So this is the sandwich crust here. And the other sandwich crust is there, yes. So that is a 9 because it sees a 1, that is a 1. This is the other crust in the column, and that's the other sandwich digit, which is not a 9. So this is a 2, 4 pair. And these two add up to 9 in this row. That's the simplest way of making this sandwich work. They are either 2, 7 or 5, 4. And that's weird. I don't know which they are, but whichever one of 5 or 7 is used there, the other is used there, so this cell can't be 5 or 7. Whichever one of 2 or 4 is used here, the other is used there. Diagonal. 9 is off it. 9 has to be on the diagonal in box 1 now. And it's in one of those two positions in box 3. So the 9 in row 2 is now here. That's an 8 and that's not. Also in columns 1 and 3 we have 2 positions for 9. So the 9 in column 2 has to be here in this cage. Now, there is a missing digit in this cage, but there are some things we can do. These 2 digits, where do they appear in this row? Well, not in the cage. So that 9 already is there, not in the cage. This one is either that or that digit. And actually, I don't know which. Looking in this column, that can't be 8, so this is at the bottom. That's an 8 placed. Then 8 is now off the diagonal here in box 9. So 8 on the diagonal is in one of those 2 positions. Oh, maybe I should look at this cell, which can't be 4, 6 or 2, 8. This also can't be a 1, 9 pair, so it's now a 3, 7 pair. 6, 1. What does that get me? Not a lot, actually. I thought that was going to be more helpful, but I don't know which of those is a 3. There's also a 1 to place in row 7, and that's there. That places my 8. There's an 8 in one of those 2 cells in box 6. So now 8 is not in those 2 cells and is there on the diagonal. It's also now not here. So on the other diagonal, that places 8 in the central box. That's lovely. So we get 8 there, not there. Now, this digit, still don't know if it's there or there. I don't think there's any way of telling. 5, 7 pair, we've done this. Now, we haven't done this yet because we don't know if that's 2, 7 or 4, 5. This cage, what's going on there? I don't know. Got 3 boxes where 9 is still to be sorted out. Okay, what should I be looking at? The diagonals? They don't feel that helpful at the moment. I'm not sure now. This digit. Where's this digit in this box? One of those places. It could be a 2, in which case it can be there and in one of these 3. But if it's not, it's in one of those 3 cells and then it's in one of those 2. I don't know, that's not powerful enough. Is there any digit completely ruled out of this cage, which would be yes, no, no? I thought I'd seen one, but I haven't. Okay, that's annoying. Now, what about this set? That digit, where does that go in this row? It's 3, 5 or 7 and it mustn't reappear in the cage, so it must go there. It is the only overlapping digit between those 2 cells and is a 3. 3 is orange, so orange has done its job. That is a 7 on the X now. What's that going to do for us? That's not a 3. 3s, we've got, that's become a 7, so that's a 3. There's a 3 in one of those positions. We've got the 2 3s on the diagonals, so that's not a 3. And this cage has got its 3, so that's not a 3. That is a 3, and the last 3 goes in box 9. And I don't need to say that number's name again. Let's remove any pencil marked versions of it. 2, 4 pair here. So everything else in this column is 5, 6 or 7. Is it the diagonals again? Don't know. I'm not having much joy with them. There's a lot of other digits in this puzzle that have to be resolved. This has become a 5, 9 pair, and maybe that gives me the first clue to 5. 5 is now in one of these two cells. We haven't really mentioned 5 before. But 5, no, that doesn't tell me about 5 over here. 5, 9 pair. Or 7. Don't know about that. That 5, 7 pair both see this cell. So whichever one of those is 5 and whichever one is 7, this can't be. That's 2, 4 or 6 now. Sorry, I'm not finding this very easy to get through the rest of. That is 2, 4 or 6, can't be a 5. This one can't be a 5, but it could be a 7. Seems quite likely to be a 7. 9, 3, 1, 8. I need to know about the diagonals. They're going to get me through this, I think. 3, 7, A1, or maybe it's the cages. This one's largely done, I think. Whatever that is going to be in one of those two. This one's still, that digit now doesn't go there. Oh look, we've got 7 in this cage. That's really helpful. Okay, I hadn't seen that. So this becomes 5. The 5 in this row is not in the cage, it's there. That makes the 5 in the central box there, and this is obviously not a 5 by any manner of means. Now, 5 in this cage has to go there. 5 in box 8 is placed. Now we're on fire. 5, 3, we've got 2, 4, 6 and 7 still to place on the positive diagonal. Maybe I should think about 7s. There's a 7 in one of those two cells. Either, says the knowledge bomb, on the diagonal or off it. Oh, the crust, sorry, the outies are add up to 9. So they're a 2, 7 pair now. There we go. Well remembered if you did that. We've got 4 and 6 left to place in the row. Okay, so all the rest of the colouring has done its job. I can remove it now. This is 5 or 6, so is that. That isn't. Now, one of those two's a 7. Oh, this cage, 1, 3, 7, 5, 8. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, this is another set thing. Those digits have to all appear here, along with that one. Okay, don't know how to use that information. 5, 9, 1, 8, 3. This is 2, 4, 6 or 7. Okay, we've effectively used the sandwich clues fully. We've used most of the cages are. Oh no, this one needs a 4 and a 6 in it, it seems now. It's 3 is the digit that didn't get into the cage. So 2 and 7 are definitely in those cells. Could have worked that out a different way. Oh, we've got an 11 cage. That's really very easy to see if I could but notice it. Now there's a 2 in one of those two places. 2 is on the diagonal, so that's not 2. Neither of those are 2. In fact, on this diagonal we've got 1, 3, 8, 4, 2. That can't be 4. This is 6 or 9. And this is 5, 6 or 9. The only place for 7 on the diagonal seems to be there in the centre of the grid. And that's going to fix 7 in box 7 appropriately, and 7 in box 8. And that's resolved row 8. Now I've got a 2, 4 pair here. Yeah, that goes with the 5, 6 pair. Now, still got the corners of the grid to do. I'm going to have a quick look at this one again. 2 now has to appear there in the cage, so that was worth a look. 2 in the column, it's there. This is 4 or 6. And in fact, given the 4 there, it's all resolved. That does the X over this side, and it does the 6-2 pair that was waiting down there. 1, 3, 7, 8, 4, 2. Right, now, in this row, 4, 6, and 9 to place. In fact, this is a 4, 6, 9 triple in the box. In the cage is what I mean when I say box, sorry. So that's a 2. That's a 7. This is going to get a lot done. A lot. 5 and 6. This is just Sudoku now. We're just looking up and down the grid, trying to find the cells where there's only one possible digit left, and not finding it too hard to come across a lot of them. Let's look at the diagonal again. That's a 4 in the corner. That's a 6 on the diagonal there. Let's look at row 2. 2 and 8 over this side. 7, 3, 8, 2. There's the only place for 6 in box 1 is there. That's now a 9 on the diagonal. You can look at the diagonal while I look at the rows. 4 and 5 hopefully makes the diagonal work. 9 and a 5. And there we go. That is the solution to 13 by Sudoku Noob. I did like that puzzle. That was good. There was a really good flow to it, and it was good fun. Thanks, Sudoku Noob. Don't be a noob forever. Send us more Sudokus. Great fun. See you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.